Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. Today I want to talk about something very simple, but a lot of the time we forget it's literally right in front of us. It can just shift what we're experiencing when we connect to it. So whatever is going on in your life right now, remember to breathe. And it's actually funny, before recording this episode, I was having computer issues. I was like, oh my goodness, I only have so much time left in my day to do this. And I want to do it, from a place of love and being grounded. And my computer was having anything, like none of it. I was having none of it. And it's funny because I knew exactly what episode I was talking about. And I actually just was focusing on my breath. Just breathe through it, because there's no point in getting frustrated and mad or working myself up, be like, time's, ticking and things like that. When our life gets frustrating or overwhelming, or you just, you feel like you're floating, or just you're not grounded, you're just kind of like one thing to the next, or you're just not feeling yourself. Get grounded in your breath. Now, there's different techniques. There's lots of different things like lion's breath, square breathing. Square breathing's when you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4, and hold again, and then repeat. And you do that. So that's a nice square, stressful breathing. And they're amazing. There's lots of different techniques out there. And lion's breathing is with you have your tongue out. You're kind of like panting like a dog. Tons and tons of different things. However, you don't really need them right in this moment. Now, if you want to look into it further, I'll be sharing lots of different breathing techniques throughout the coming year up ahead and things like that. So stay tuned for that. The thing is, though, it's just focusing. Are you doing shallow breathing? Are you you've just forgotten to breathe at all? We can hold our breath in sometimes when we're anticipating something. And it's just sitting or standing, wherever you are, really. That's why it's so easy, yet we forget all the time. And you just take a deep breath in and let it all out and just focus. And it brings us back to the present. When we get, anxious, like for me before recording this episode, and I was starting to talk myself up in frustrations and get a little frantic, that's in the future. I was thinking about how much time I had left before I need to pick my kids up from school. And I was starting to get overwhelmed and a little frustrated with my computer. But the moment I just was like, you know what? It's okay. I'm here right now. And I focused on my breathing. It really de-stresses the situation. We're it's okay. I have enough time. Everything is working out just as it should, and all will be okay. But when we don't think about our breath, we can, anxiety can come up, stress, overwhelm. And it all comes back to our breathing, our breath. So whenever you find yourself in a situation, I'm thinking of a few in my life where, my kids, they're at this beautiful age, 5 and 8, and they have so much independence, yet they still need help with certain things. We have these battles, and I have to remind myself to breathe, that it's okay. Everything is okay. It's just breathe through it. We also try to work with our kids with breathing. So if you have kids too, it's a great way to help them work through situations. Roller coaster breathing with your fingers up and down, tracing your fingers up and down. So many different things. Dragon, pretending you're a dragon, melting ice. Things like that. There's so many fun tools. And again, they're fun things you can do. But again, it really just comes down to our breath. And I'm not saying these techniques of breathing aren't amazing. They are. They all have their own things. But if you just need a simple answer or a simple solution, in front of you. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just figure out your breathing. And it can even be counting your breath. If you're not getting out of your head and into your heart and your breath, just take a nice deep breath in and exhale it all out. Everything is okay right in this moment. And that's what our breath does for us. It connects us back to our bodies, back to ourselves, and back to the present moment. Again, when we start getting anxious or overwhelmed or frustrated, it's because we are focusing down the road, down whatever it is. We get frantic because we have busy Mondays and Tuesdays in our house where the kids have to be somewhere at a certain time. And it's like school and supper. And it's like we're eating so early. Or if we don't, then we're eating really late. And it's these moments that are like boom, 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 constant movement. And if I don't breathe, I get really overwhelmed. But if I slow down, it's like, what is the next thing? And that's really what breathing is. It's like, okay, it gets you grounded so you can just focus on the next thing instead of thinking about the millions of things you want to do or have to do or should do or whatever it is, that's going on in your head. Brings you back to your body and your heart. So again, whatever is going on in your life, big, small, ginormous, bring it back to your breath. And I'm not going to say it's going to fix everything, but when you feel more centered, when you feel more grounded, you can make better decisions from your heart. When we're frantically going, it's a lot to do with our brains, our head. Like, what if I'm late or I have to do, it's just, we get lost in our thoughts. And the breathing brings us back to where we are, grounds us so we can see things through a different light. So we can find that inner peace, that inner guidance that's within us to really help us lead the way. Now, do I always remember to breathe in a crazy situation? No, but the more I do it, the more it just becomes a healthy habit I lean onto when the going gets stressful or I get a little, anxious. It's that simple tool that we forget a lot, and I forget too. However, when I do remember this amazing little helpful tool, it does bring me back and ground me almost instantly. And like I said, I use it with our children too. So it helps them when they're like overwhelmed or stressed out, like something's bothering them, and they're almost like hyperventilating. They have these crazy breathing. It's like, hey, hold on, slow it down. Now they don't always receive this as well, but the more they do it, the better it just comes like second nature. And in them doing their breathing, it also helps me do my breathing and really get connected again. It's this really beautiful thing. So maybe they're not doing it fully and they're just keep, whatever it is that's bothering them, they still go through it. But it's helping me as a parent. So it's this fun thing. And again, it's just this wonderful tool to have in our toolbox. And it literally is connected to our body. So you don't have to carry anything around. It's there for you whenever you need it. So remember, your breath is there to help guide you, ground you, and just relieve any stress that you might be feeling. I hope this helps. And I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now.